To music lovers, this is Full Record Jacket. You are most welcome with me, Phil. I am the egg-shaped headman. Ben is the walrus, or something like
fat
that.
and wet?
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think if there is any parallel between you and walruses. Can't really think of any, to be quite
Tusks.
honest.
I got some tusks.
Um,
I'm thick-skinned.
That's it. I knew there was something.
Yeah. How are you?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good. I've had a long day today. I've just noticed I haven't got my hairband in, so I'm letting the locks flow. I'm growing my hair, dude.
Really?
I know that's a sore point with you, but you know.
No, I don't mind. I'm all for that. If people want to spend ages messing about with their hair, I will spend the time doing something more interesting. But
Polishing your head.
now, viewer, you joined us for a fairly random discussion where I don't actually know what Ben is going to talk about. But I guess the title of the show, once we've posted it, we've titled it with some idea of what you were clicking to hear about. So what are we talking about, Ben?
Well, I've got two things, so we can have another show but I want to talk about. It's coming to that time of year where people forget that it's the 12 days of Christmas and not the 8 months of Christmas, and that every shop you go into has a constant repeat of what can only be described as the biggest dribble that is ever set forward into my ears at any one time, and it's basically, Phil, it's our favourite Christmas songs. Or what do we think about Christmas songs? Because I just think they're fairly, in the main, they're rubbish.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. Do you know what I do every year? I blot out all of. There is that, but it's not that. No. It's not that time. It's November.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
A few more months to go yet. But I tend to blot out all the Christmas rubbish that's being played, and I don't really go into shops that often, and I don't really take much notice of it. But obviously, there's certain songs that are just on repeat, aren't they? If you look at any of these now Christmas albums, whatever, it's
who's
a lot
buying
of
that? Who's
the same stuff.
To be fair, there are some good ones. I must admit, some of those sort of 80s ones weren't too bad. There are sort of Fairy Tale of New York. I know a lot of people have sort of fell out of love with it more recently, but that's really good. I quite like the one what's about the World War One poetry thingy.
Yeah, are you talking about the Jonah Louis one? Is that the one?
I think that's
the
one. Yeah, that's good.
Recovery.
Yeah,
before you go into a whole list, we'll go into a list in a minute. But what I do every year is I focus on a handful of Christmas songs, and I tend to have those as the ones that And what I do is I sometimes take one of these ones that's played quite a lot, like the Jonah Louis one. Going back, say, I don't know, 15 years ago, I'd never really listened to that properly. I'd heard it everywhere, but I decided I would actually listen to it properly. So it became my favourite song that particular Christmas. And I've done it with a few of the other ones. But I also quite like looking for slightly obscure ones. But you see, the thing is, I do have a little bit of a relationship with Christmas music for charity reasons, because, of course, I'm involved with a hospital radio station. So I can't totally escape it, and I do get involved with playing the odd one. Although I never fill my show with it, or maybe on Christmas Eve I might play a few more. But I tend to try and get the quality ones. There's some great cult Christmas songs, but
yeah.
Do you want to discuss which ones you like of the very famous ones that everybody knows?
I'll tell you which ones I hate.
Okay, let's go with your hate list then.
Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
You generally hate Mariah Carey anyway.
I generally hate her. If she's on the radio, I turn it off. One of my big problems with that is, and now knowing Mariah like I do, she used to live 3 doors down from me. She likes possessions and material things, because that's the kind of persona that she puts across. And if I was dating Mariah Carey and I turned up on her doorstep on Christmas Day and went, ta-da, Christmas present, and she was like, yeah, where is it? And I was like, ta-da, Christmas present, And she, well, where is it? Well, it's me, because you've actually been singing for the last 20 years that all you want for Christmas is me. This is it. Should be like, get you down to the jewellers and get me some jewellery now. Get out of here. Stop growing your hair. You're looking absolute tool. Get yourself down to H. Samuels and get me a Casio watch now.
This is true. I must admit the
All
shameless
I want for Christmas is
probable
you.
hypocrisy of Mariah Carey is not something that I'd thought of before. I hadn't really thought of the song in terms of her as a person. But
Yeah. If you
shall I tell
turned
you?
up on her doorstep, just going, ta-da, I've even worn clothes so you can unwrap me, she'd be like, get me a present
Now,
now.
is she an author of that song? Did she actually Did she
I
get a
don't know. Do you want
co-write on that song?
me, go on,
Yeah,
have a look.
you look it up because I'll tell you the one thing that I do find interesting about that record because that came out in I think it was
94.
94.
Be-
And apart from the fact it's like that kind of 90s pop production, the style of the song is a bit like a 60s song when you think about it. It's a little bit like you could imagine it having been done by Diana Ross and the Supremes back in the
yeah.
60s, yeah. And all those songwriters in the 50s and 60s, like Carole King and Jerry Goffin and all the Motown writers like Holland Dozier Holland, they came up with all these pop songs and all these love songs.
It was
And
written by Mariah Carey
all right,
and
she co-wrote it, did she? Yeah.
With Walter Affes.
Well, this is the thing. All those prolific '60s pop songwriters, none of them thought to do the obvious and write a song with the title "All I Want for Christmas Is You." It hadn't occurred to anybody before that, and I just think that is quite. I'm just amazed it didn't occur to anyone sooner. Is that an interesting point, or am I just being a bit boring?
I'll let you know later. But it did come out, Chris. Do you know what? It didn't get to number one, though, in 1994. Do you know what got to number one in Christmas 1994?
What got to Christmas number one at Christmas '94? Was it Mr. Blobby?
No, I think that was 95 or
Okay.
93. It was E17 Stay, which
Oh, was that
I have,
'94?
which I have another issue with.
I would have had that down as '92, but obviously I'm wrong
No,
about
it
that.
was 1994. Do you know what my issue with that song is? It's not a Christmas song.
No, it's not.
It
It's
wasn't.
not.
It was track 3 on their Steam album. It wasn't. It just because it's got bells in it. It's
It's
not
got
a
bells.
Christmas song.
It's
Yeah,
got
it's not a
bells in
Christmas.
that makes it Christmas. But you see now, there's the thing about Christmas song or songs that are not Christmas themed. If they get high in the charts at Christmas time and they've got something about them that's sort of linked in some way to either being warm and cozy or about love or something, it gets thought of as a Christmas song because it was out at that time of year. But of course, as the years go by, you get further and further from that time, and most people then don't remember it being out at Christmas. I mean, one example of this is Moloch in Tyre, you know,
Yeah, Paul
by
McCartney.
Wings,
Yeah.
because that was out at Christmas, and it is sometimes on these Christmas compilations, but it's not at all a Christmas song. But it's got that kind of campfire sing along family thing, so it's a bit Christmassy. The other one, of course, is the Frankie Goes to Hollywood one. That's got no real mention of Christmas in it.
Yeah.
It's just the power of love. But because it was a hit at
Oh, did
Christmas,
that come out at Christmas, did it?
it was a hit at Christmas, and that's why it's stuck as a
Ah.
treated as a Christmas song. I think there may be some more examples of that. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but
1994. Do you know? Obviously, you know what was number one? Christmas number one.
this is in the UK viewers, obviously.
Yeah. Christmas number 2 was obviously Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Do you know what those two songs kept off the charts for Christmas number 1 in 1994?
In
And I'll give you a
94.
clue.
Was it your favourite band of
It
1994?
wasn't Jimmy Nails with crocodile shoes.
Was it? Was it Oasis? Was it
It
whatever?
was Oasis.
Whatever was it? Was
It was whatever.
Okay,
We could have had a credible Christmas number 1.
that was their bid to do a Beatles and be a Christmas number one.
That was, yeah, which ended up getting a co-write issue on it, I believe, by, is it
So the
Jerry
Rattle-
Innes? Something like that.
Wasn't it Neil Innes?
Neil Innes.
Neil Innes
Signs.
from
Yeah.
the Bonzo Dog Band, because that was from it was one of the songs from the Ruttles movie.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Have you ever watched the Ruttles?
I've seen bits of it.
Yeah, it's
Should I
funny.
be watching this?
Well, George Harrison took part in it.
Yeah.
John Lennon was sent a tape by one of them. I think it was Neil Innes himself sent John Lennon the tape, and John Lennon loved it so much he kept it, his pre-release copy, and showed it to people, and he thought it was hilarious. Paul McCartney was less keen, let's say. He wasn't quite so keen on sending up the whole Beatles thing, but I think for George Harrison it was kind of a cathartic. He quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Have you seen his appearance in it?
I haven't. No, it's something
I won't ruin it for you.
along with Spinal Tap. I need to give these more time.
Yeah. I mean, it's of course Paul is parodied as I can't remember I think the Ringo character is called Bongo. I can't remember what the George character is called. The McCartney character is Dirk McQuickly,
Dirk
and
McQuick.
and the John Lennon one is Ron Nasty.
Do you know what? I
And
think I've seen some films with Ron Nasty and Dirk
Ron Nasty.
McQuickly.
Ron Nasty, instead of marrying, he doesn't marry a Japanese artist. He marries a German Nazi woman.
All right, okay.
And they don't do a bed in. They do a thing where they sit in the bath and stuff like that. It's all a complete parody.
Do they end up on
Yeah,
the
it's
word?
quite funny. It is funny, but the songs, the songs are kind of genius, really, because some of them sound Beatley, or they're obvious parodies of particular Beatles songs, or they're generically Beatley sounding. But they're also quite enjoyable as well.
I don't mind "Wonderful Christmas Time" by Paul McCartney.
Yeah, now some people consider that to be a bit naff.
Driving Home for Christmas, Chris Rea. I don't mind that either.
It was Paul McCartney's solo album period, wasn't it, where he was messing around with the synthesizers?
Yeah.
It's a very simple ditty. I think, you have to be up for a bit of McCartney cheese, don't you? For that
wonderful Christmas time.
So, you got any more that you hate? I've got a mate who hates the Spike Jones one.
I hate that Shakin' Stevens one. Weird video as well.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't know if our North American or international viewers will know that, but that's
it's possibly the worst video since Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah, but you shouldn't let the videos taint your appreciation of the audio wonders of the music.
I know, but it has. To be fair, I just don't like the track either, so that probably doesn't.
I can see it not being really your kind of thing.
No, but it's. I tell you what I do. I do like Wham's "Last Christmas."
It's a very well written pop song, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's quite somber. It's not sort of the happy sort of.
It's not trying too hard to be a Christmassy song. It's not trying too hard. It's just quite a clever, love song thing based around Christmas. It's just cleverly composed, isn't it?
Yeah. Christmas Conga by Cyndi Lauper. That's pretty awful.
I don't think I know that one.
That's pretty awful. And I tell you, is it I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus? I don't like that one either. Because
I quite like it on the Phil Spector album.
Yeah,
because I just like the Phil Spector album, and I also quite like the Jackson 5 very cheesy version of it with Michael singing it.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa.
But you have to be in the mood for cheese. You have to be in the mood to have a bit of cheese.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've got a select few of ones that I do like, and then there's some awful dross out there. I think New Kids on the Block did a Christmas song back in the day, and that was awful. And
I don't remember
that. I'm surprised by that, Philster, because I would have thought you'd have been very up on New Kids on the Block, and then obviously anything that Michael Bubble touches, just it's lift music. I'm being quite harsh today, Phil. Being quite harsh on Michael Bublé and Mariah Carey, but it's just a bit cringy for me.
I like a bit of Dean Martin, Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Perry Como. A bit of that makes me feel a little bit.
Yeah, a bit sort of like the old sort of crooner style Christmas songs.
old school crooner stuff, the
I, t-
1940s,
I
50s.
tell you one Christmas song I really don't like, and the video that was made along it side it is the worst video possibly of all time because both the people in the video look like they are dead, and that is Bing Crosby and David Bowie with is it Little Soldier Boy or I can't remember the
This is
song.
little drummer boy in peace
Drummer
on
Boy.
earth.
Yeah, yeah. Awful. Absolutely awful.
No, I have to disagree. I quite like the performance. I quite like it because it's just so bizarre that Bing Crosby, right at the end of his life, did a Christmas song with David Bowie. I mean, it's
It
never to be repeated. I mean,
I know, but it just makes me uncomfortable.
I've got a few cult favourites
Go on.
that. Which ones are that I think are good? Well, I always
Spice
like.
Girls.
Well, this will be more poignant this year, but I always like Sinead O'Connor's version of Silent Night.
Never
I like
heard
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
To be a bit traditional. No,
Chocolate Salty Balls by the Chef from South Park.
oh
That
God,
was
I've
a
forgotten
Christmas
about
number
that.
one.
Was that a Christmas number one?
That was a
Okay.
Christmas number one, yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one that I like. Well, I do quite like. Johnny Cash did Little Drummer Boy. I like that version.
Yeah.
Um, I do like Bob Dylan's Christmas album. I find it quite fun and bonkers. Some Dylan fans don't like it, but I do quite enjoy his. It was 2009 that he did that.
Well, I did listen to a Christmas album last year, which is something I wouldn't do, and that's because Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 released a Christmas album, and it was difficult for me. But it wasn't a bad album because it was sort of that it wasn't out and out Christmas, but it's all a little bit yeah.
Well, my favourite Christmas track, my favourite rock or pop Christmas track of all time, is from a band associated with Bob Dylan because it's the band,
The band.
the band, and that is a track from their final studio album, the last album they did with Robbie Robertson in the band, and it's an album called Islands, which is not a Christmas
I
album.
have
It's just
that.
it's an
Is that the
odds
one
and
with their
ends
four
album.
faces all sort of
Yeah, yeah, going down
yeah, I've
in
got
an
that one,
island.
yeah.
On that album, there's a song called "Christmas Must Be Tonight," and that is my favourite Christmas song of all time
Ever.
ever.
I
Yeah,
mean I do like I have to say, my two favourite Christmas songs are quite obvious because John Lennon's "Imagine" gets played a lot at Christmas, and it's like that's not a Christmas song. It's "Happy Christmas, War is Over." That's a Christmas song because he's wishing you a happy Christmas.
yeah. I
"Imagine"
don't.
isn't
Does
a
Imagine
Christmas
get
song.
played? I can't
It
remember
does
hearing
get played
Imagine
a
that
lot at
much.
Christmas,
Does it?
or it used
Okay.
to. In my days of working in an office, would play a lot of commercial radio.
Yeah.
It used to get played a lot. I'll tell you what we will do, Phil.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to my left, and to my left, I have what can only be described as a symbol of youth culture. And I'm going to ask the youth what his favourite Christmas song is. Youth, what's your favourite Christmas song?
All I want Christmas is you by birthday, Kevin.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Love it. Put it on repeat.
Can I just say, I hope, can you mute the mic for this bit? I tell you
Put it
what,
on
you're going to
repeat.
go and live in the shed. I'm putting you outside. You're no child of mine. That's for sure. Tell you, I'll give you the phone number for Childline and Esther Ransom. You muted that bit, didn't you?
Put it on repeat for Dad over Christmas. He loves it really. You just
tell you
can't
what,
admit it.
I tell you what, if you wanted to become a serial killer, all you'd have to do is put that song on at least 3 times, and you'd be like, "Oh God, I need to kill somebody." Stabbity, stab, 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 stab. But yeah,
There are
my
others.
obvious Fairy Tale in New York, Wham's Last Christmas, and I don't mind that Paul McCartney one. The Slade one annoys me, though I do like Noel Gallagher's version of it, what he did for the royal family, and that's where I'm drawing the line with Christmas songs. Apart from some of the
Yeah.
old crooner ones.
Yeah, Noel Gallagher's version was interesting to hear the lyrics and the different take on the Slade one. I must
Yeah.
confess, although I quite enjoy a fair bit of Slade, I've never really loved the Christmas one. Um,
It was written in July.
I think
He
I
actually
possibly.
he came up with the idea
Well,
for it while in the shower, apparently.
they often are in July, recorded in the summer. I also, I think I possibly prefer the Wizard one to the Slade one because it's a bit more fun. But
Which is the
I'm
Wizard
also,
one?
I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Oh no, that one.
But it is, but it
Oh
does
no.
get, but they all get, they've been overdone. You see, that's the problem
Yeah,
with them
yeah, they
both.
have. Yeah.
Um, of the well-known ones, yeah, I do like Fairy Tale. Um, what about the waitresses Christmas wrapping? Is that cool?
No.
Okay. How about you quite like the Jonah Louis one though, don't you?
I don't mind that one. Yeah, yeah, it's got a bit of poignancy to it.
No, you like a bit of Chrissy Hind. What about the Pretenders 2,000 Miles?
I don't think I've heard that. I like Chris Rea's Driving Home for Christmas.
You must have
Driving
heard
home for
2,000.
Christmas.
2,000 Miles is the one where he's gone so far away. It must be Christmas time.
Oh, I do know the one.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, I don't mind that.
mid-tempo. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good. I mean, I like it because
I don't
it's quite
mind
like
some of the
Chrissy
ones
Hind.
what are used in Home Alone. I think Rocking Around the Christmas Trees in that one, but
I do like the old Brenda Lee rocking around the Christmas tree.
yeah.
I quite like some of those 50s ones. What's the other one? I actually quite like the original Jingle Bell Rock as well by was
Jingle
it Bobby
Bell Rock.
Helms. Yeah, quite like that. As long as I don't overhear them. You know, the Phil
Yeah.
Spector album I also like, but as long as I don't overhear it.
See,
But
I
I am
came into this saying I hated all Christmas songs, and I've actually gone, do you know what?
you've
There's
had to
actually a few
admit
I
it.
actually do like.
You've had to admit you do like some of them. You see.
Yeah, but I
Um,
haven't been Whamageddoned yet. I know we're only midway through November, and you know, shops playing Christmas songs October, November. I'm not being funny, but even people who put Christmas decorations up in November need serious help. My decorations go up the day before the kids come around for Christmas, and as soon as I boot them out the door, the Christmas tree goes as well. Bang, out you go.
there
Can
you
I just say,
go.
I'm not the Grinch. I just have a couple of issues with Christmas.
You just
Not
act
only
like it. Yeah.
not the songs, but all year we're told, do not cut down trees, look after the trees, look after the environment, and then one day a year we're just cut down all the trees, put them in your house, and then lob them out. And then Greta Thunberg and everybody else, don't put lights on, no this, all. And then for one day a year, put as many lights on as you could possibly find. That's fine. And then my last thing I've got for Christmas, apart from the songs, Phil, is we tell our kids, oh yeah, be wary of strange blokes with beards. And then for one day a year, we go, do you know what? There's this guy who's never been vetted. He's never been had one of those background DBS check. He's going to come into your bedroom and it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. And you can do that while listening to Mariah Carey on repeat. Apart from that, buy me a Christmas present because I really like presents. So.
Well, if you want to buy Ben a Christmas present, you can do. Otherwise, you know, if you're feeling a little bit stingier than that, just leave a comment and give us a like, give us a subscribe. We will be back with another discussion of similar quality at some point
Well,
very
hopefully
soon.
more better quality than Christmas songs.
Thanks for watching. All the
Bye
best.
bye.